show the gut, the side. Look at that thing, man. Like, that, to me, looks like a PB. What do you think? That's going over 5. Nah, it's not 5, but holy crap. Dude. Damn right. That's a 4. Dude. 4 pounder after that. Here we go. Oh my god. Dude.
Good job, man.
Look at that. I have big hands. That thing's huge. Girthy. That's triple C thick. I'm calling them today, boys.
Oh yeah, did it all right. It's go time.
Mm-hmm.
How are we all doing tonight, everybody?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time. The guy that doesn't like dad jokes has got the best dad joke of them all. Oh god, this table's crooked. Just a smidge. There we go. All right, who we got? Vance, Chris, Ronald, Mass Big Baits, and Brendan. How's everybody doing tonight? Got a little bit to discuss. Not a lot to go over for specifics, but you know, something specific nonetheless to get started with. Otherwise, I want to hear the chat going off tonight, boys.
Boys.
Microphone. Boys.
Embarrassment.
We got some big fish to talk about. May have caught a few more on Sunday.
Got a couple.
Just a couple. He caught all the bigs. I caught.
You got a giant. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you caught the 2 biggest fish.
Yeah.
I'm losing count of all our 4 pounders.
It's pretty tough up here in the Northeast during the winter.
For everybody else. You know what that calls for. Tell me if this audio comes through, please.
The words of Scotty
I don't know if I
Wallace.
did that right.
Yeah.
Hang on. I can look at the screen. Can you not see? I don't know if I hit it.
The words of Scotty Wallace.
work?
Oh,
Yeah.
I did hit it. Okay.
All right. Did you hear a bunch of
Yeah, tell me. It's the like in the word of Scotty, whatever. What I eat you? I forget. Yeah, tell me that came through. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the video comments. I think it's Ron, something I think it's something on YouTube's end. But who else? Dog Swampy. Hey friend. Brian.
Yo.
John, what's going on? Vance, again. Yep, okay, good. They heard it. So we got that. Oh, I forgot to put the picture there. It's supposed to be a picture on that one.
There was one.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
It was the coach's face. He's
Yeah, I
like,
saw him.
It's just him literally yelling, embarrassing.
I like it.
I got a few things set up on the stream deck finally. I finally took the time to get this thing set up. It's a learning curve, but I kind of got to figure it
Ooh,
out.
Halo campaign's out.
Yup.
That came out today?
Yup.
Mm.
You're going to go home and play it, aren't you?
Mm.
Yeah, he is. I might give it a shot tonight. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff to do for the website.
I probably won't do it tonight.
Got a lot of stuff to do. What's new? And I pulled something in my neck the other day, and I still can't turn my head as far as I want to.
Dude, I woke up this morning. I could barely walk. My back was like toast.
This other side of 30 sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sure most of you can relate to that. Only half listening. Yeah, campaign is out. It's sweet. Dude, I've heard. I mean, I've been playing the multiplayer. It's fun.
Shit,
Yes.
maybe we should just get some subs to play with us. That'd be cool.
You know, it's funny because
And if you suck, we ban you.
yeah, you're out. I don't handle trash.
Unsubscribe.
Listen, not grand champion. I'm a champion of Rocket League. Holding down a ton of wins on the old Warzone. Sorry that I'm good at like everything I do.
You should play Battlefield.
It's garbage.
I don't think it is.
You know,
I think it's fun. I think it's fun.
Well, the other 70,000 players that bailed on it in the last 2 weeks would disagree.
Because they didn't give it time. That's why you got to fish slow. You got to give it time.
You're not wrong. But screw Battlefield. This guy I know, Ben, actually asked me the other day, do we have a Discord for the channel? I do, but it's not public yet. I've actually had it for a while. And right now I just use it for myself, my friends, and my son when we're playing video games. I need to like properly build it out. I need to find like admins, people I can get in there and trust, the whole 9 yards. So I will get around to it for those that are interested. Like, we're just continuing to expand on things. Speaking of expansion and things we got to get done still, and it's on the docket. There's a couple things I got to get done this week. I got the next 2 days off, not fishing. Yeah, I had vacation time I had to burn. Or I get paid for it, and I'm like, I need time. I don't care about money. I care about my time. I mean, I care about money, but
Yes.
I can go bust my ass any day of the week and get money if I need it. I can't get time.
No, that's why I'm taking this. I'm like, I gotta go.
Exactly. Time is one thing you can't buy more of.
It's snowing now, and then in 2 weeks I'll be in Florida
Bastard.
catching gators. We'll see.
So I think I brought it up last week before we get into the show. I did order hats. This one, the trucker hat, similar to the style he has, with the offset white logo, like on mine, but mesh, dark gray in the front, black in the back. Again, this same exact gray flat brim. Is that what I'm wearing?
Yeah. So, yeah.
I've got a camo hat, literally just like this, but flat brim style. That's also snapback, white offset. And then some winter camo flex fit hats, which are going to be very limited. This was, for anybody that has not been paying attention, supply chain globally for literally everything has been a nightmare. Hats are no exception. Not only are they not an exception, they are like the next level of difficult in getting my hands on.
Because nobody cares about hats.
Oh no, they it's crazy. It's been gangbusters, man. Like how many hats have been sold, and then was it Richardson, which makes the trucker hat that I sold last time, and I'm selling again.
Richardson is good. I
Really
like
good.
those hats.
They are suffering horribly.
Really?
With getting product out, getting materials, getting help to make it, getting it all. It's crazy. And then Yupong is the other one. That's the one that makes this hat. They're, I guess, two of, if not the biggest, but some of the bigger players for hat manufacturers, and they've been having trouble. So
Yeah, we even at work, like they're sending us snowmobiles without ECUs and without gauge clusters and all that.
yeah,
We literally, I have to build a snowmobile and
and
then
then wait.
and we just put them aside and just wait for all the stuff to come in. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Aiden, I will consider. You're gonna earn it. You've been here a couple times, but the people that are mods have been here since day one, like 11 months ago. Keep at it. You're gonna earn your way into it, buddy. I promise. What does this say? Ron, got my PB smallmouth and mini leech, like frog, 2 pounds 4 ounces. Hey, that's still good though.
They get bigger. Just keep fishing for them.
Exactly. Want the camo when? Oh, right. So when on the hats? I don't know. Their lead time was about 2 weeks when I placed the order. By the way, y'all better buy hats because I literally spent $1,100 ordering hats.
Jesus Christ.
On my dime. Not from the subscription, or not subscription, but not from donations, not from sponsorship money. My money. That's out of my pocket. Not his. Mine.
That's crazy.
That's,
I did not know that until right now.
every time I place an apparel order, I sweat bullets because it's like, that's not a light amount of change. But I didn't really have a problem selling hats the last 2 times, and it's been over a year, so I'm really hopeful that people will buy all these hats right off the bat. I tried to get as many as I could. I tried to find balance between like what I can get versus like what I think I can confidently sell. So there's going to be like 30 trucker hats. There's going to be 20 each of this flat brim and another flat brim, this style, but that multicam, like that dark camo.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera at all, but
I love that hat. It's my favorite hat.
It's dark. Yeah, that we used to have these at work, and I think it's the same people. You going to Mint?
Yep.
Mint Print Works?
Yep. So I literally wanted that hat, but I couldn't get it. I have that exact hat, like that SVM hat and everything, but in a flat brim like this. They're all the structured fronts except for the flex fit. So I don't know. They told me maybe before Christmas, but we'll see. It could be like the first week of January, but when they go up, I will have them for sale. That's the other part of the expansion thing. I need to set up a store somehow. I cannot do this through email like I did before. I need to figure out a way to put up inventory somewhere. And as it's consumed, inventory is updated. The orders come through into one central location. My wife and I can box up stuff at the end of the night, ship it the next day. And when they're gone, they're gone. Now, depending on how fast these things go, we'll do another round. But we'll see. Mark, any extra large for the Smelt heads? Unfortunately, no. So that was one of the big problems. Like, I just wanted, because it was a really popular hat last time, just a straight black flex fit hat in extra large, because it's one of the bigger hats you can get. Can't get them. They're gone.
That sucks.
I have multiple models. I looked across everything that I would personally want to put my own brand on. Can't get them. Just a plain black hat. It's insane. So, unfortunately, no, not this round, but maybe a couple months. If things start to bounce back, we'll see how it goes. Aside from that, the other thing I want to really stress here for, I don't know, just asking for help from you guys. If there's anything that you'd really like about what we do, what we really don't like about what we do, specifically on the streams, things that you wish we did that we haven't really touched upon or dove into or even thought about, really, hit us up. I don't care where you do it. I don't care if it's here in the chat, if it's in a comment on literally any video. I check the comments every single day, channel wide. You can hit me up on any of the social. I take care of all the private messages on those. Like, it does not matter where. If you've got a suggestion, do we want to hear it? Because we're going hard for 2022. I've got a bunch of ideas. We're changing the direction of like a lot of the videos, but not all of them. I want to get back into doing more like educational style, like whereas right now it's just kind of like a montage of catches every time we do it, which is still fun.
Which it has been for really forever.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning of the year, I started that bass fishing quick tip series because nobody had that, and I was like, yeah, that's literally right up my alley for what I want to do. And I dropped the ball because I was in a really bad spot again mentally with my last job, and then I got into a tough spot here at my current job because I got in my own head, and just everything kind of fell by the wayside. So
now you don't give a shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
It feels great, doesn't it?
It really does. I've made just immeasurable strides with where I'm at and my focus on everything I want to get done. So we have a lot to do.
Swampy is banned.
My dad's gonna blow up my plans for tomorrow, but not really. I'm gonna go help my mother-in-law. My dad at my mother-in-law's house to fix her heater. So that kind of throws off my morning and my day off. And then my kids got basketball tonight. But I got like 4 or 5 hours right in the middle of the day that's just me time. I'm going to lock myself down in here on my computer. I have a lot of stuff to get done. It's like almost just paperwork for the channel. Like organization, planning everything out, set up my roadmap for the next year, figuring out how best, I can utilize Andrew's time as well. So we can like get this shit done and get there with everything I want to do.
I'm game.
We'll make it happen. So, before we get started, also in the stream, a couple more things I do want to elaborate on. First, I'm going to always ask, because as weird as it sounds to always ask, it really does make a difference. If you guys have not hit like yet on the video, please do so. It helps more than you know. If you guys would do me a favor, whether it be right now or any future streams or videos, share it. I can go and share my video anywhere I want, but people are weird about the creator sharing that stuff directly. But if literally anybody else does it, communities are much more welcoming of it. So I'm asking that everybody is willing to take that effort and put it in. People have been doing it more and more lately, and we're seeing a direct impact on the growth. It's insane. I've said it since day one, even back in my gaming days. You cannot grow and be huge without the help of your community. So throw that out there again for you guys. For those that do, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. With that said, let's go to the chat. So, Sir Altitude, take a subscriber out for a trip. We'll volunteer to be first. I'll touch upon this slightly. It's something we touched upon. We did the video for it. I was looking at it again last week. We are going to make subscriptions available for the channel, which it's different for YouTube. For those that are aware, like Patreon, right? You can pay, basically support a channel at different levels of dollar amounts they offer per month, and you get certain rewards for that. Well, one of those rewards, the highest one, happens to be go fishing with us. I think, if memory serves correct. I know we threw it around there, but I don't remember if it's in there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
If it's not in there, I'm going to add it. Food for thought. But I'm going to launch that. It's something I've been sitting on for like 8 months now. I would just get it done. Literally, it's all there at the back of YouTube. I just need to hit go live. The video posts, everything becomes available. It's just another avenue for you guys to help support us, but get more rewards for your support in the end too, which would be great. There'll be like one of the bonus tiers is a private live stream every month, one extra private live stream a month for those that want to support us from.
Yeah, just like a one-on-one thing, just us and you.
So I know there's at least a group one, and then at the higher tier, there's a private one that we offer. It's like he just said, it'd be one-on-one. So we got a lot in the works. We're gonna make it happen and get it done. No, Donk Swamp, you're not giving me my spots. Dan, any more fishing without electronics and or from shore would be appreciated. That could actually be done. We've done that a couple times. But I have a hard time with that because I like my boat. It's very nice.
You really gotta like this time of year. You really have to be like on shore. You have to be within casting distance of like 40 feet deep. Like if you can find a spot on a lake, like I know there's a couple lakes that we fish that were in 40 to 50 to 60 feet deep within
50
cast.
feet.
Yeah, within 50 feet of a road. Like
banks like that.
yeah,
They're steep.
They're out there. You got to find them, but they're not everywhere.
Yeah.
But you can find those spots.
So in the summer we're gonna try and do it. We actually had how many times have I said in the last 3 years we should go fish like those rivers and just beat along the bank and things like that. Like
yeah,
we've talked about it, we just haven't
banks.
done it.
I mean rivers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we did it one year. It's fun. So next year, yeah, we should be able to. My kids are older, so I can start like dragging them along. Me too. That'd be a lot of fun. Just strap on a chesty and go for it. I do have the chest cam out.
Put them on the chesty.
Right?
That'd be sick. That'd be so.
Camera would always be on the ground. Dad,
You're like,
out.
Dad.
Could make an hour of bloopers from one trip out with those kids.
Ground sky.
Dan, thank you very much, buddy. I got your special message there too as well at the beginning of the stream. Thank you greatly, man. We're gonna do some great things with that stuff.
What's this?
Dan.
Oh, Dan. Yeah.
Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Mr.
Dan, thank you very much.
Dan the man. Crafty Cockney. Hey, Dan. How you doing, brother? Oh my God, I can't. I didn't mean that. I mean, yeah, when I said your name, I tried to butcher your accent, but everything after that was just an aneurysm.
What is he?
He's one of my old gaming buddies.
Oh.
Thanks, dude. And he knows. He knows how important it is. And then Ron, how much time it takes? You cannot imagine how much time it takes. I don't get to bed before midnight ever. Because if I'm not at work, then I'm at home working with my kids. Not working with my kids, taking care of my family and stuff. And then by about 8:30, I finally get downstairs to work on my computer. That's the earliest I get to start working on the channel. Never earlier than that. So in order to get anything meaningful done, midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that window, every single night. I would say probably once every 2 weeks, I go to sleep early, and early for me is 10:30, where I don't do anything. I just hit the couch. I watch a movie with my wife. She's got to be the most patient, understanding woman I've ever met because she knows how much this means to me. All the work I've been putting in for years to get this to the point that it is and trying to push it to that next level, which is really why we're trying to get Andrew involved too, to help offset some of that so I can start working on like other things too. It's like, it's a ton of work, but I don't mind it one bit, and I'll never complain about it because this is my passion. This has to happen because I don't see any other path for myself forward. There's plenty of other things I could do. This is what I want to do. This is where my heart and soul is. So that's why I don't even bat an eye when I'm driving, 45 miles to work in the morning.
I mean, if
5:30.
this ever just blew up and we canceled the channel and everything, we'd still be going fishing.
Yep,
as much as we do. That's never going to change.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Have fun, buddy.
Later, Dan.
And Dan, I'm mostly stuck on shore, but also have the kids, so would love to get them on fish. Thanks for the content. Very welcome, Dan. Oh, buddy. How you been? I haven't seen you in a little while there, Robbie.
Damn it time. Why don't you quit shooting deer and sending me pictures of them, you freaking asshole.
my coworker. This is why Red Bull will give you colon cancer. I don't drink Red Bull anymore.
I drank one of the big Red Bulls today.
Did you
It was
really?
off the freaking walls. It was great.
I'm starting to get away from the Monster. My buddy and I are actually talking about that, and we it's funny because him and I started phasing out of the Monster now. I still have one a day, but it's better than my 2 to 3 a day. And instead I do 2 coffees. 2 coffees, 1 Monster.
I mix
to get myself through the day.
That's a lot. I mean, I do that too on lunch. I go and get a big Red Bull, and it works.
Yeah.
Wakes me up. Like, yeah. Crack.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you. Different baits. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it. Ron, lucky. Rhode Island ponds and lakes average 8 to 10 feet. Lol. Fishing for shore is great, but river runs at bottom of the street is about 5 foot with holes to 8 feet. Never freezes. Nice. Hey, Carl.
Jerkbait, 2 minute waits.
Oh yeah, and fluorocarbon coated monofilament. When the water dips below 45 degrees, you want that because it's not naturally buoyant, but it's much closer to naturally buoyant, where versus straight mono floats and straight fluoro sinks. So a combination of the two works a lot better in that sub 45 degree water. Thank me later. Yeah, Ron, you're not wrong with that. Hammer, Mountain Dew energy drink and purple drinks are the jam. Purple drink. All right.
That's dessert.
I appreciate everybody being being patient with us as we kind of go through a lot of the plans. I like to keep everybody involved, what we're doing, like what's going on behind the scenes, like what it is we're trying to do to make things happen, and the time it takes to get it done. So, without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about our cold water approach, for lack of a better way to put it. There's a couple of techniques that we've been doing, and I feel like I didn't quite give enough justice to the Demiki rig lately. And in all fairness, it's not something I really want to do a super deep dive into because it's something I've been trying to fish for 3 years, and I only finally made it work back in September.
Yeah, but you're fucking doing it.
It's funny because I went from like, how do I make this work to this is the greatest thing ever.
Andrew, pick it up. Okay. First fish he ever gets on the Demiki rig is a 4.55 pound smallmouth. First and only fish, mind you, so far. I just haven't really. I haven't really put the time in yet.
Oh, he's gonna.
I'm absolutely going to. I'm watching you do. I'm like, nah, I just want to go up there and do that now.
So, how many of you actually watched the most recent video I uploaded yesterday, my personal best smallmouth, and got to the end? Because towards that last like 20%, what I'm gonna do is actually take that and re-upload just that section as its own standalone for a bass fishing quick tips video, because there was actually, when I went back and listened to it after the next 2 trips I did since that day, a lot of what I said was spot on. Absolutely spot on for what makes the Demiki rig work well. I've got a few guys I know fairly well, I talk a lot with them online, haven't met them in person yet, that are excellent with the Demiki rig. They know their shit. And talking to them about it and like the things they're telling me, I'm like, I literally have been doing that, like almost to a T. Like maybe like 85% of everything I've been doing has been exactly what like guys that are really, really good at it do.
So you're just really, really good at it then.
Apparently. I went from not knowing what the hell I was doing.
I mean, it's really exactly what I do ice fishing.
I said that to you, remember? And that, like, it didn't click until it was like 3/4 of the way through that day. I caught my PB, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. I know when I'm ice fishing, I see this shit. I just slowly raise it. Oh, fishing like ice jig. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. It's crazy. I mean, the water's cold enough to freeze, so.
Right.
I mean, almost.
Well, I mean, I'd be curious to know what the difference is of that water temp down there at 40 plus feet now versus when the water freezes. Like, how much more is it really going to change at 45 feet?
I don't know if it's 42 to 43 degrees down 50 feet. It's probably in the 50s.
I believe it. I would like to know. And the only way to do that would be to take one of those
thermometers and just drop it down.
Yeah, with like a 1 pound weight. Just sink it.
Let's do it.
Leave it a little float, like the marker buoy at the top. Come back in a half an hour.
Let's go do it.
We should do that.
Okay.
I have a pool thermometer thing.
Yeah, perfect.
It's got a rubber duck on it.
I'm gonna take the rubber duck off. No, keep the rubber duck on it as a float.
Put a GoPro on it. Oh, it's too deep though. They're only rated like 30 feet. That'd be sick. Like GoPro down.
Like, throw mine down there.
And it's just sitting there as a little rubber duck. 25 feet. Vance, thank you for watching it, buddy. I appreciate it. Donk Swampy did. Mark, I don't even know what a 4 pound small looks like in person. He's big. He's real big.
Yeah, it's not small.
I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm kind of a big deal. I have a. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I think you may have to touch it twice.
The words of Scotty Wallace.
Well, tell me if you heard that. Okay, yeah. Get more acquainted. Demiki rig, best plastics and heads.
Remember those? So, just kind of off topic. This is just me and him talking for a second. Do you remember those ice fishing trailers that you had last year? Those teeny tiny little ones?
Yeah.
For the crappie?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I follow him. I have all post notifications on.
Does he make bigger ones?
Not that I've seen. Oh, actually, yeah, no, he does make pretty big ones. But I've been waiting for him to drop those little ones again.
Yeah. Those are amazing.
I found a bait maker in Poland. Of all places, on Instagram in Poland. And I think I paid like $4 each for a 1.8 inch perch swim bait. Dude,
but they are worth every cent.
We're out there crappie fishing last year, and I'm just lighting them up. And Andrew's like, what the hell?
What's going on?
Every time I drop down, another one.
Like,
another one.
literally the same hole. And he's just catching them all. I'm like,
the guy that's been ice fishing like 100 times more than me. And I was like, this is easy. Why doesn't everybody do this?
Because they're from frickin' Poland. That's why. God,
I need to get more of those.
those
Great.
are sick. If he made those in like 3 to 5 inch,
Oh, he does.
my.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably $4 a piece. Though.
See the Gamakatsu treble hooks hanging up?
Yeah.
The lower pack? Right underneath there, there's some brown swim baits. Grab them. Yeah, they're laying down flat on the shelf. And real quick, Donk Swabby, yes, you can use that same transducer on the boat, I believe. Same guy, bought them at the same time, threw those at the St. Lawrence River. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy
I'm
makes
just saying.
I totally forgot. We're taking those this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm taking them Friday.
I didn't. I talked to Fish and Game.
And
No idea.
they have no idea. Really?
I talked to New Hampshire Fish and Game. He said it looked like something,
Interesting.
but it also didn't look like something.
What's up,
I don't
Todd
know.
and Andrew? Hey, boys. Yeah,
That doesn't smell right.
No, I mean
Okay.
they've been sitting in the bag.
I was gonna
over
say,
here at
like-
this point,
I don't have COVID, do I?
dude. These.
Oh, it's got an upside down paddle tail too. That's
Yep.
freaking sweet.
Look at.
Look,
Ah, they're
but-
so slimy.
You probably can't see it.
I might throw out the photo.
Oh, geez.
Oh God
There
in
it
heavens!
goes.
Actually, you kind of got a good idea of it right there. I don't know.
Let's see if I can do this.
There we go.
My hands are dirty from work.
I can't.
You can't see it.
So these are like 3.2-inch gobies.
Super detailed though.
Wicked good, and the
It's
formulation on them
It's like
is
they molded a fish. Oh, that's a good idea. Just legitimately make a mold of a fish,
right. Like
like a bluegill glide or a perch glide.
we're like trying to glue on like a paddle tail on the back of a dead fish. We're like, come on, we need the paddle tail. What's wrong with us?
chop its tail off.
Meat cleaver. Wife comes home, we're sitting here with a bunch of dead fish on the table.
What's for dinner?
You're not seeing any of this. Steering headlights.
Just dead perch and silicone everywhere.
Buddy, don't move. They can't see you if you don't move. All right. Anyway, Demiki rig.
Whatever. Yeah, catching big fish on Demiki rig.
So, for like I don't even know how many years now. Well, like every year we got better and better about staying out later and later. Right? We're getting better at this whole cold water thing. Proof is in the pudding. We've posted plenty of evidence there. But one of the things that I have had the most success with, one is just dragging finesse baits on football heads. And it's been a whole range of weights on football heads. But a football head, nonetheless, has been the deal because I want that bait to stand. And that way so you can see what the hell I'm doing. A ball jig would be great. We're fishing around a lot of rocks in that it will get through, but it will never stand. Even a wicked heavy ball jig, it's just going to roll over. You need a football so you can stand. And that seems to be incredibly key with what we're doing. But that's only like one half of getting the fish. The other half isn't always just, hey, Chad, shut up, I'm getting there. Oh yeah, maybe that one, underneath the colon cancer thing.
What?
Blade bait has been the other go-to. There's been a couple of spots where I can make a drop shot work, but it's like super inconsistent and not something I would ever recommend because of how inconsistent it is. Blade bait has been the go-to for years. That has always been the thing. Not only is it good for numbers, but it's also really, really good for size too. But it's a bait that, I mean, regardless of how you fish it, it's still pretty much a bottom contact bait, right? You're either going to get them on the reaction when you're snapping it or when you're letting it fall back down. And we go that was good, Chad. Brooke,
man,
what?
that's great. I don't know.
But you know, it's still it's in my opinion, it's not that different from the finesse baits that we're just slow dragging, because it's still going to be on the bottom. Like again, you're going to try and get that little short window where you're lifting it up, or if you do a long sweep and it's swimming along the bottom, but like it's still kind of rapid movement. So what do you do about all those fish that you see just kind of bombing around? You could try dropping down a drop shot, but there's something about that tag that throws them off. Most of the bites that I've seen anyway, it looks like those fish are coming, like if the bait's here, the fish come up and up. It's the weirdest thing. Like they're probably not doing that, but I think a combination of seeing the line, the weight and a little bit of the line throws them off because I just cannot get them to touch it. Enter Demiki rig. Whenever we're seeing fish, and it seems to be at this time of the year, they're either feeding on the bottom, belly down, like mud scraping, or they're looking up. You know, you go to burn a swim bait, or like, you know, like if we're throwing big swim baits this time of the year, trying to get something like, okay, let's try and get a meal. We suck at it, but we keep trying. Dark sleepers, things like that. Any of those finesse dragging baits. Working back to the boat, and all of a sudden you bomb it up, and all of a sudden you see a fish and come back down. You know, he comes like 5 feet up. Like, what gets that attention? For years, people told me Demiki rig. Couldn't figure out what the hell it was to get it done. Now I understand it. There's something about that bait and presentation that calls in those fish. Like, how many times just in the last 2 trips alone did I
He's
say,
just sitting there. There's nothing there, and then it
right,
randomly shows up out of nowhere.
And now we're talking like 40 to 45 feet. It's kind of been like that magic window where that's really excelled. And I will bring it down to about 10 feet off the bottom. And you'll see this super, super thin line at the bottom. And all of a sudden that line starts coming up. And as it comes up, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And then you know, okay, that's likely a very sizable fish. And it has been almost every single time. I think there's only been a couple of fish under 3 pounds that I've caught the last 2 trips on that Demiki rig.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know what it is about it specifically that the fish really enjoy, other than right colors. Color has been key. Right size. It's small stuff, 3.5 inches or smaller. Kind of a lighter head. I fish a 3/8 ounce head almost exclusively at the moment, but I am going to start dropping down to 1/4 ounce, maybe even lower. And long, dead stick, soaking pauses. Just letting that damn thing sit there. Not to say this probably couldn't work in somewhat shallow water, but the magic in a Demiki rig is being able to fish it suspended. You're not going to the bottom, and you're not fishing up at the top. You're dropping it deep, but you're holding it way up off the bottom, and just don't move. Let it sit and sit and sit. If for those, again, if you didn't watch the latest video on my PB smallmouth, there's a couple of fish that I caught at the end of the day, all in the Demiki. I had one fish 93 seconds from the moment I dropped and then closed the bail and I started the counter. 93 seconds until that fish bit, and he never left the screen. He never left the bait. He came up, went down, and repeated that 4 times. But every time he came back up, how long he sat at that bait looking at it was longer and longer and longer. I think finally when he bit, he sat at it. The 2 lines blended for a solid 15 seconds before he bit it. You can watch my whole log go bonk.
Yeah.
Tell him about the bite on a Demiki, because it caught me by surprise. It's not what I expected.
They hammer the thing. It's not like they come up and just go, thunk. They come up and they grab it and they turn and go down.
It's like a jig bite.
Yeah, they literally are just sitting there and it's just like, thunk. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's violent. There's no mistaking it. Like when they hit it, you know the difference between a bite and a short strike. I think only maybe 2 of the fish that I've caught so far felt like a little kissy nip, and I still hooked them. Everything else, if I felt that little just kind of gentle nip on it, little butterfly kiss on the bait, that missed them every time. When they hit, like he said, you can watch the whole rod just goes. There's no mistaking. You can feel it all the way up to your freaking shoulder. How hard they hit this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's nuts.
Ron, you're absolutely right. Try drop shot and heavy current. Put rod and holder like live bait. Yep, I absolutely agree with that. So I want to make sure I get back to the chat more often, even if it disrupts my train of thought here a little bit, but we're gonna make it work. Mark, any recommendations on blade bait makers? The only local guy I know actually just moved. Dale Wyman, Aaron's Edge blades. I haven't used them yet. I know lots of guys that fish his blades almost exclusively, and they swear by him. He'll paint them up in any color that you want. They're great. The guy's awesome. Wicked nice guy. Knows what he's doing. He's been at this for a very long time. He's in the Carolinas now. I forget if it's North Carolina or South Carolina. But I think he has at least a Facebook page of some kind. Aaron's Edge Blades. If you want something more commercially available, I'm a big fan of the Binskis. Those are my favorites and my absolute go-tos. Really limited on colors. I think the Demiki Vault. No. Who makes the Vault? Damn it. I can't remember. Believe it or not, we just wrote an article about this on the website, 603bass.com. So if you go over there to the blogs and then check the blade bait thing, my buddy Dennis wrote up an article on this, and he had several recommendations for good ones in there. I threw in the Binskis myself when I was editing it. I added 2 certain sections while I was at it. Definitely go check that out. There's a lot of really good information there for blade baits, including some other recommendations he had. There was a Megabass one he recommended. I can't remember the name of it. Where are we at?
Vibration X, is that the one?
Megabass Vibration X. Yeah, I think so. Greg. Hey, fellas. What bait fish are you imitating with the bankroll color? Alewife or Smelt? Smelt.
Bankroll is, Smelt.
It's out there. So yeah, it's almost like a rainbow Smelt kind of color, but it's also almost like a rainbow trout kind of color. I don't know. I found, I guess, conflicting information on what kind of Smelt we have here in the Northeast.
Due to the one that I caught.
Yeah, that changes everything. I've read that we have rainbow Smelt here, which have like a greenish purple hue, like green on like top or in the middle, I forget, and then purple.
It's like green on the top, and there's like purple and kind of
beautiful colors,
iridescent kind of look on it, kind of.
Yep, and the bankroll is almost a dead match for it, but bankroll is also a near dead match for rainbow trout as well. Brown trout, I don't know if juvenile brown trout also have that kind of greenish sheen on the side, like that one that giant I just caught. But I could imagine that maybe that might be along the same lines. There's something about other baits with blue in them in cold water, especially late in the year. I don't get it, but it works amazing. Like almost like a silvery translucent color with like a vibrant blue stripe in it. Those have been like my two go-tos at this time of the year. Magic Flick has been by far the best producing bait on the Damiki Rig Forest so far. I have another bait I will never discuss. You can't even buy these damn things. I got them sent to me from a friend in Canada. It's from a Canadian bait maker.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot get them. Not only can you not get them because they're not sold here, but what little he did make sold immediately, and I guess the guy's working on perfecting it. So I don't know when it's gonna be available again. He found the last freaking bag known in the whole area. I got two soft baits, but he caught a 4.55 on it. I caught a 4 1/4 and a 4, and I don't even know how many 3s. Like thing slays.
Yep, they're good.
But it's just a green pumpkin, 3.5-inch green pumpkin bait. It's got some other stuff to it that makes it a little bit special, but in my opinion, the most important thing about it, for what you guys can get, it's just a green pumpkin. It's about 3.5 inches long. We tried some other things. Oh boy, where's my head?
We've tried a lot of things.
Buddy, why can't I remember? Flukes, baby flukes, the little 2.5-inch baits. You can get those in a bunch of colors. Baby bass, that could also work really well. They make them in Smelt-ish colors. It's more like a shiner. They have pure white, like a pearl white, that also can be really good. You got things like that. Like those can all be really good. Chad, don't worry, I'm getting your question about your question. Don't worry, I'm gonna get there. I just want to kind of wrap up everything about Damiki rigs. Is there any questions about it too? Because I'm trying to, I almost feel like I'm grasping at 6 here for anything else that we made a point of. Oh, when it comes to fishing it, because for the Damiki, there's a couple different ways you can fish it, but really where it excels at, the easiest way to use it, drop straight down. However, if you're like us, you like to fish braid to a fluoro leader this time of the year, braid does not play well in ice.
No.
Remember that first day?
Yeah.
My braid was freezing. Because even like brand new line, braid is actually pretty waxy, so it repels water to an extent, but even still, braid is eventually going to absorb water, and it'll slightly freeze over, so it's going to get stuck inside your reel. You can easily come out, but even a 3/8 ounce head isn't enough to overcome the drag of that ice buildup and everything.
All right.
So tie on, either spool up like 100 plus feet, maybe 100-ish feet of fresh mono or fluoro. I would do fluoro, not mono. Or I don't know what else to do with that. I've started reading it. I started actually looking up, like, is there a different line that's good for that time of the year? There's an actual like ice fishing specific, but
there is.
Spools.
Yeah, but it's
not worth it.
No.
You're just better off tying a long leader of fluoro.
Mm-hmm. Fluoro works fine.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. Yeah.
I didn't have any trouble with it last weekend.
I haven't had any trouble with it the last couple of years.
Right. And well, I was a little nervous about, like, the thing is that when they hit the Damiki, they hit it so freaking hard that even at 45 feet deep on straight 8-pound fluoro, I felt every bite. So I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. Back to the questions. Brendan, Ito Wakasagi from Megabass is the best match for your Smelt. Damn right. That is a fantastic color. It's actually a pretty good match for rainbow trout up here in New England as well. I have the mag draft in the 8-inch and the 6-inch in that color. And I actually caught a couple of really good fish on the 8-inch this year. Had a couple of giant chasers too. Giant.
The mag draft?
Yeah.
Eh.
Don't be salty.
Who wants them?
Ron, I grew up on Bow Street in Cranston. What worked? Oh, one worked for them or Parks. Oh, sorry, you're talking to somebody else. Cam, could you try to cast a Demiki rig and close the bail immediately so pendulum's back to the boat? Just a random thought.
See, why not?
Yes, absolutely. So I was talking to my buddy Will about that just the other day, and he said it works killer, but his opinion, it also is more imperative to have live scope or forward-facing live sonar of some kind to really make that work really well. I think I could probably do fine without it, just based on like the fact that if I know they're in the area, and actually when I was talking to Will about this came to mind. How many times did we see fish? I'd go to drop down, but for whatever reason, if my line got hung up a little bit or whatever, I couldn't pick up my rod in time, that fish was already gone.
Yeah.
But if I just pick a direction, basically parallel to the bank is what I'm thinking I'll do, and just, you know, flick it out 50, 60 feet, and then start immediately tight lining it to pendulum it back, there's a good chance I can catch that fish still.
Yeah.
But I think
he'll catch his eye and he'll be like, what the hell is that? I want that.
I think if I'm going to do that, I need to add my second Demiki setup. It has to be a lighter head, like a 1/4 ounce. Because I don't want that 3/8 ounce like come bombing by. I want it to go a little bit slower. There's still a chance I run, a risk I run of missing that fish because it takes too long to get down to his depth.
Yeah, we'll catch another one.
That's kind of what I'm thinking and hoping.
If they're there, they're going to bite.
Yeah. Dog Swampy, what is your favorite head style and weight? Where was that one you just had over there?
What did I do?
That Demiki head. Oh, on the plastic. Hey, thanks. This bait I tried, it hasn't worked well. That color's fire though, just so you know. I think this is actually a Demiki brand jig head. It's a 90-degree line tie. That's the most important thing when fishing a Demiki rig. As long as it's got some sort of 90-degree line tie, that's all you need. Ball head jigs work just fine. The Kitech ones, you can find those pretty much anywhere. I really, really like this. I like the big googly eyes on the jig heads. I was told to make sure I bought my jig heads with those. I don't know how important it is, but all the fish I've been catching have those big old googly eyes on the jig head. It's a 3/8 ounce. Going down to a 1/2 ounce with a football head we found the other day worked fine that day. They didn't seem to care. It had a 90-degree line tie. It was a really short, small hook. It was a 1/0 hook. And the bait we were throwing on it was killing it. It was the dumbest looking thing in the world, but they didn't care because the bait was still sitting upright when I was dead sticking it down there, and I got it down to him fast. The ones I specifically use, which I don't have any in here. Are you cut it off the rod? No. Lead-free bass jigs based out of Massachusetts, and that's their website. leadfreebassjigs.com makes Demiki heads, and it's a round head, 3/8 ounce, good stout hooks, nice little bait keeper on there. Those have been my go-to for the last, well, that's what I started with. I still have a ton. I bought them in white and green. I've been using the green a lot more. That green head with the Magic Flick has been the winning color combo for us lately. Couldn't tell you why. I started out with this white head and a very similar color bait, but different. I know the swim bait is on there, kind of stupid. And that was killing it the first day. And then I couldn't get bit on to save my life, and that was in that video I just uploaded. And I started working through colors, and finally I was like, okay, well, I'll try green head with the Magic Flick. And it was like flicking a freaking switch, man. All of a sudden I started getting bite after bite after bite. So those have been my two go-tos. There's a couple of other ones out there that I've heard are really good, but one of them I was told not to speak about. So as long as you get something with a 90-degree line tie, you're good to go. Ron, Brandon, oh no, wait, 30, oops. The mag draft is a sleeper. It really is. It's a good bait. Vance, caught many big fish with them. Got my biggest largie this year, going 5 pounds, 7 ounces. Nice. That's good fish.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So a lot of what we've been doing has been much, much more geared towards deeper smallmouth.
Oh, yeah.
For winter fishing.
Bottom.
Winter fishing tips. Now, for those of you that don't have the ability to go out to some of these bigger, deeper lakes like we do, smaller lakes, what's your go-to? I know the answer.
Jerkbait.
Damn right. So now we can get to Chad's question because it rolls into that. This is for you, like what 90% of New England is, right? Like smaller kettle ponds. You're not going to get that much for depth range. You know, your average is probably around 12 to 16 feet, somewhere in that window. A lot of places are even shallower than that, like 8 to 10 feet is kind of like your average depth, with maybe a couple of holes in 12 feet. So Chad, my buddy, asked, what is your opinion on jerkbaits right now? Clearly small jerks with long pauses, and what is the pros and cons?
Definitely long pauses. I mean,
Now,
I've
go ahead, elaborate on what you mean by long pauses.
long pauses. I mean, I'll sit there, go 2 or 3 jerks, and then I'll pause, and I'll pretty much wait for a bite for the first minute, and then if there's nothing, I'll throw one, and then I'll wait another minute, 30 seconds to anywhere between 45 seconds to a minute, and then I'll go cluck crack, and I'll wait again for another minute. And if I don't get one by like at least a bite by the third or fourth time I do that, then I'm reeling in and recasting. But there's been times where I've sat there and just put the rod down on the deck for, I don't know, 5 minutes, just kind of doing whatever, and then the rod will just go, and you got to kind of catch the rod. Like that day that we went out, I was sitting there for 2 minutes, just sitting there shooting the shit with you, and then all of a sudden my rod just takes off.
It's crazy. It's like, and that's the hardest thing I had, trying to get my head wrapped around jerkbait fishing in cold water. But like, what am I supposed to feel when I get bit? And not
They
all of
hammer
them
it.
are going to hammer it, but most of them.
Most of them don't. I wouldn't say most of them, but
enough of them.
I mean, it's like fishing the Damiki rig. The thing's sitting there, and they come up and they want it. They come up real slow. They grab it and they go. Same thing with a jerkbait. It's sitting there. They're staring at it, and they finally come up and grab it, and they're gonna go. Sometimes they just nip at it and like they're gonna miss it, but they end up grabbing a hook on accident.
Right. So I do know that. So the 2 J's that are on the team for Beast Coast Fishing, some of the best jerkbait fishermen I know. Those guys absolutely kill it. They've won a lot of money in the Reynolds Marina bass tournaments the last few years on jerkbaits. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're really good with jerkbaits.
Yeah, and they will.
We should just get them on for jerkbaits
next
time too.
Oh, dude, that would be a riot to have those 2 on here.
Oh yeah.
Chat would be like, "What is this?"
We wouldn't look sober.
Nope.
Not with those
Great.
2.
The one caveat with that was, like they said, for the bigger fish, you don't want to have tight line, but you want to have kind of like when you're fishing a jig or anything, right? Like semi-slack line, because some of those bigger fish will just come up and kind of mouth it. And it's so big that they're engulfing the whole bait and just getting to the line. So it's not like they're, thumping down hard on the bait. They're going through past the whole...
They're taking the whole bait down their throat, pretty much.
And you really can't feel them bite the line, especially if they're just coming up to it and just like, they're not really hitting it. They're just kind of like bringing it in ever so gently.
Right.
Real quick, have you thrown that? You have those, don't you? Something like that?
I do. Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing. It's a skirtless chatterbait.
Yeah. Jared, I saw your question. I want to ask Andrew because I thought he had thrown it.
No, I had the it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much just a
Straight King one, right?
No, I had the Z-Man ones.
Oh, okay.
The skirtless. It's like a skirtless chatterbait. I haven't
round head like that.
But that one's got a round head. Yeah, mine.
Oh, yours was more like swim jig head.
Yeah,
okay.
It was just like a regular one. No, it was a round head.
I thought it was.
No, it is.
That's probably what it is.
Maybe that's exactly what it is. I don't know. I'm an idiot. But they work really, really well. Like really well. I haven't thrown it in cold water yet. Maybe I should try it.
Yes. Dude, if you have it.
Slow roll the shit out of it.
Right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My guy. You have to do that this weekend.
All right.
Jared, so we were talking about that. No, I have not thrown the Willow Vibe, but he has. I've watched him fish it. I've seen the bait in action. I like it.
It's ridiculous.
I really like what it looks like.
Throw something. You don't want a paddle tail with it, though. You don't want a swim bait with a paddle tail.
No, something almost like...
you want something with a straight tail, almost like a fluke kind of deal.
Yeah. What's that one from...
That one I was using the
Yamamoto.
Spirit Shad?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
I think so. Well, then there's the Seiko. Yamamoto Seiko.
Yeah.
That's another good bait. That'd be really good for that. Where it's got like a natural looking tail to it. But it's still got like, not violent, crazy action, but it's still got some good swimming action.
Yeah, I don't like having a trailer with those skirtless.
There you go, Brandon. Thank you.
With the Seiko, yeah. Those skirtless. I don't like having a trailer on the skirtless chatterbaits with a paddle tail. It just doesn't work. It like counteracts how it's supposed to work. Because it like a normal chatterbait, they dart a little bit, but this thing is using the actual trailer itself to pretty much direct where it's going to go. Like if the trailer catches something weird, it's just going to, like they dart like crazy, and that's what gets them to strike. When it's warmer out.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm sure we can still.
It's got to be worth a shot.
Yeah, I'll throw it.
Coming back to jerkbaits, because that's another like absolutely killer way to catch, especially largemouth this time of the year. I still maintain the jig is one of your best bets. Spider jig always kills. Just a 4-inch black with blue flake spider jig on a 3/8 ounce head will always catch bass. I make it work every year without fail, and for like 12 years now.
What is this? Sorry.
Just for cold water fishing tips, specifically for largemouth and shallower water.
Black and blue jig?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what caught my PB.
Yep. Black and blue skirted jig. Hair jig. If you can get comfortable fishing something like that, no trailer, just a straight up black hair jig. Really light, like 3/32 of an ounce. I haven't made it work yet, but I know plenty of other people that live and die by those hair jigs, and it catches giants. Absolute giants. And numbers too, like you're not going to light up, the scoreboard with 30 plus bass when the water's still in the high 30s, but you can still put in a fair number of fish in the boat on it.
Mm-hmm.
But circling back to jerkbaits, because I do want to expand upon that, because I think that's probably one of your better bets. If you're not going to throw a jig, then jerkbait in shallow water for largemouth is really, really hard to beat.
Yeah, no, it works well.
I know what my cadence is, but you are much more confident in what you're doing for jerkbaits, especially in colder water. What is your preferred cadence when we're fishing this time of the year? Like, do you vary like how many times you snap it, and then what do you just completely keep it varied, or do you kind of have at least a starting point preferred cadence, and then you kind of make adjustments from there?
Yeah, I have a preferred starting point. Like, I'll go 3 to 4 just to get it down, and then I'll do maybe 2, maybe 3, depending if it's super sunny and kind of windy out. I'll do 2, maybe 3, and I'll wait. I'll wait for God, who knows how long. It pretty much depends on the day and how I'm feeling. And it's usually anywhere between 30 seconds and it could be up to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And then just repeat and make little adjustments. I'll do 3, or maybe then I'll move down to 1 if they're not biting it. If I start getting bit more on 1, then I'll just do 1, or then I'll do 1 with 1 big crack, and then I'll just let it sit. It all depends if it's going to be a reaction bite or if they're actually just slowly following it and then picking it up.
Yep, good call. Before I ask you about color choices, because I know I definitely have one that I live and die by. If I'm fishing a jerkbait really late, early in the year, there's one color I live and die by, and then if that does not get bit, then and only then, after like hours of nothing, will I make a switch. Chad made a really good point too that I wholeheartedly agree with. There's no argument for me from there, especially this time of the year. Fishing a jerkbait on a spinning rod is like amazing.
Mm-hmm. This time of year, it's not a horrible idea.
No, because you're going so slow anyway. Typically the wind tends to be more of a problem this time of the year than any other time of the year. Yeah. If you're like me and you have poor circulation or just little baby bitch hands that are always cold and you like to wear gloves, no shame, then throwing a spinning rod is nice too, because then you don't have as much water splashing back on you either. So not having to fight the wind, you'll be able to bomb it, like wind's blowing right in your face. Yep, whatever. I'm still gonna hum it on the spinning rod, never worry about backlash. Like, there's a lot of benefits to throwing on a spinning rod. You're not retrieving it with the reeling, so you don't have to worry about, what a lot of people say is, because you got that crazy amount of line, looping and twisting when you're reeling it in.
It really doesn't make a difference.
You're only using the reel to take up slack or fight the fish in. You're not using the reel to move the bait.
No, it's all on the rod.
Right. So if you don't have a bait casting reel, or you don't want to use it, you're not comfortable with it, spinning rod for jerkbait is absolutely key. Really, you can do it any time of the year, but especially this time of the year, it really shines. You're going slow anyway. You can wear gloves if you want to stay warm. It's killer.
Mm-hmm.
Color choices for cold water.
It all depends. I got a few that I usually stick to. I don't know the colors because I don't.
I know mine.
But I got one It's like the I forget I usually go with a smaller jerkbait.
Is
Like-
that the color hanging up right there?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Go ahead, pull down. I was just thinking, I was like, I think that's the 110 plus 2, but I'm like 90% sure that's the color that you throw primarily.
These two right here.
Yep, that's the reason I have these in my house. He's making a mess. He's making the mess that I left. That's the organization I keep doing in here.
But I will start with something like this, blue, with like if it has does it have black? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
blue and black on top, and then a little white on the bottom. Or I will go black on top with orange on the bottom,
Yeah.
and that would, or gold. Or if that's not working, then I'll pull this dude out.
Which for the life of me, I can't remember what the color
I
is.
can't.
on that.
I don't think it's IU. I think it's I forget the name of it.
I don't know what it is, but it works freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's got the purple on top with the chartreuse on the bottom and clear in the middle. It kind of has like a iridescent kind of on the side. This works phenomenal. If the blue and black, the orange and black aren't working, I pick this up.
LED
This
bone.
usually gets
Yeah.
That's what it is. LED
Thank you,
bone.
Brendan.
This usually gets bit.
So, exactly him. I will throw this 90% of the time when water's really cold. We're talking like 45 and less. This is the Lucky Craft Pointer SP100. This was my go-to for years before I found the way that is the Mega Bass Vision 110 series. This is a 110 plus 2. Brendan, to answer your question, I have one 110 plus 1 junior in like an extremely limited edition color that I got from my buddy David. Thing looks amazing. And I'm probably going to spend a couple $100 on jerkbaits this winter. Because I've really found a lot more confidence and obviously success with these baits has been going. So I want to continue to expand on them. And as expensive as they are, I just really have all the confidence in the world in these 110s. So I'd rather fill up my box of the baits that like I can throw at any time and know that they're going to kill it. Or I really like the Lucky Craft 110, 100s.
The
too.
Lucky Crafts are nice. I don't think I usually don't throw anything bigger than like a 100.
No.
I'll
This
go
is
I'll go down to 90s. Like
which I think is what the juniors are.
I use the Cutter 90s.
Those are great
The
baits.
Berkeley Cutters.
Yep.
They're cheap. Doesn't matter if you break them off because they're only like, I don't even know, $4 or $5 a piece. Maybe they might be a little more than that.
Yeah.
But and they work phenomenal. They float. Sometimes they kind of have an issue with floating, so I'll sometimes throw a little bit of lead on there to keep it down.
Yep, the lead tape and keep a
Suspend dots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep a razor blade on your boat too because a full dot sometimes is way overkill and your bait that was first slowly rising now sinks like a rock. But if you use like those like flip open utility knives, you take one of those along, nice fresh razor blade, and you can start evenly trimming back. Like if that's a circle, you can just take a little sliver, throw it down, test it. It's still sinking like a rock. Okay, take another sliver from both sides. Like keep it even so you keep the weight centered on the bait. I usually, where I really like to throw it when I'm putting suspend dots on is right there. Dead center on the belly of the bait. Sometimes I'll throw it up on top, but I don't know. I like it better underneath here. And I try and put it in the middle. So I feel like it still sits like that a little bit, or at least level, but I don't put it too far back because I don't want it to sit ass down. I don't want it to sit nose down or anything. But yeah, you can slowly trim that little decal back and then using a razor blade carefully, peel up a piece, rip it off, you're good to go. Sorry, you were saying about the Berkeley Cutters also.
Oh, they're great.
There you are, phenomenal. I've got a few of myself. And then Donks want me to answer your question. You don't prefer natural perch colors for jerkbaits? I
Do
have a ton.
Yeah, I do. I just for cold water I don't.
I don't know why. Because it's crazy. Because how many perch have we caught on this at the same time that we're catching bass?
Yeah.
They're all mixed in. The bass are feasting on them, but this still outfishes a perch colored jerkbait for me like 5-1.
Yeah, just be careful catching the perch this time of year.
That's in the spring.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. No.
It might be this time of year too, but when that happened to you, it was in the spring.
Yeah, no.
Perch
Oh,
back
that was in the spring.
Back of the boat.
Yeah, I got covered.
Covered.
I don't even remember when that video was. That was last year, I think.
Yeah, it
don't
was. It
even-
was last spring. 'Cause we didn't even go there this year.
It was early though.
It was. It was in April.
Was it April?
Oh yeah.
How do you remember that?
Because by May, all the other spots we really like to fish are already like better.
Oh, true.
We can start fishing them.
Yeah, you're right.
That place is so small and ices out so fast, and we just know they're literally in that spot every time, that time of the year. That's like one of those like, it's such a small pond. It's like 80 acres. It's so shallow. I think the average depth is like 8 feet. And there's a channel out in the back of it, and all the perch and the bass and the rest of the bait fish stack up right in front of the channel, because that also happens to be one of 2 of the only deeper holes in the whole frickin' pond. And it's immediately adjacent to a shit ton of really shallow water. So on a really nice, warm, sunny day, they swim literally 20 feet out of that hole, and they're in 3 feet of water. And they're nice and happy, nice dark mucky bottom, and just whatever, all the lily pads, and they're as happy as clams. If they want to go another couple hundred feet, there's a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, and then they eat my shit, and I pull them on board, and they come all over me.
No, I was dying. I was absolutely dying. Here, let me get you a towel.
Oh, what's up, Alec?
So TV18, it's good, man. Thanks for joining. So yeah, like again, the perch colored jerkbait is good, and I will throw it when I feel like if this isn't working and this isn't working, I go to a perch.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put the perch down. I would definitely throw it. Those are just what I prefer.
Yeah. Really, Greg, the last few Mega Bass 110 I've brought have had problems with them floating fast. That sucks, dude. I hate to hear that.
That's weird.
Austin, I heard a rumor the winter swimming spot is back in action. Can anyone here confirm? Might try it this weekend either way. The winter swimming spot. You have to elaborate a little bit more. I'm slow. Hey, Jerry, thanks for joining again, buddy. I'm still coming down. I haven't told the wife yet.
Jerry, I'm coming down in 2 weeks.
He'll be down there a lot faster.
But I'm not going to hang out with you yet.
Robbie said the same thing. That's spring for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right.
With your perch bukkake.
Yeah. But Jerry, I am going down, and I want to know what you're catching them on right now.
Yep. Alec, how we doing? We're doing good. How about you? Have you guys thrown any of the Zuri jerks? Curious your thoughts. Yes, actually, a couple of them. I like them.
Yeah.
You have one.
Yeah, I do. I got a couple of them.
You have that weird like chrome, like pearlescent, like rolled foil inside of one. Remember we were up on the Brownie Factory in New Hampshire like 3 years ago? Huh?
That was Rapala.
Was that a Rapala?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I bought a Uzuri that's almost identical.
But
to
I have a couple of them.
It was like it's like a pearl white, and it's almost, like I said, it's almost got this like pearlescent like foil inside that shows like every freaking color as it rolls in the water. And he destroyed me on that jerkbait one day. I swear to God, I think he caught 30 smallmouth in my 10. It was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was literally, it was just like jerk, 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 bam, jerk, 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 bam. There's another one. I almost doubled up on it. It was insane.
Yeah, Hammer, the Rapala stuff is great. I do like the Mega Bass only because, like, for me, 100% of the time, they swim and float perfect. They suspend perfect. Right out of the box, no tinkering whatsoever. And I love the action. Tactical Bassin did a video on jerkbaits not too long ago where they went through like a bunch of different jerkbaits. Pretty much every 110 they made, a bunch of Lucky Crafts, and then some Rapalas. They did the Berkeleys, and they were like trying to figure out like, what is the best action for getting it. It's not just so much a snap and your jerkbait does what you want it to. Different brands react differently to a very subtle crack and a very violent crack. Memory serves correct, the Vision 110s and the bigger Lucky Crafts, you have to crack them, and they have this perfect slash for it. Whereas other brands, and I can't remember the specifics, so you're gonna have to go back and find this video. But there are other brands where just like a little flick of the wrist sent that thing darting a mile. And if you overworked it, then it didn't do anything. It just shot forward. So that's also something really important to keep in mind when you're using a jerkbait. Especially something you've never used before. Get in the water, flick it out 10 feet in front of you, like crank it down a foot or two, and then just start practicing with the violence of your snap to make sure that it's slashing.
I mean, in the fall, we're past it now, but in the fall, you want to crack that thing. I mean,
Violent.
like work 6, 7, 8 jerks and then let it pause for 3 to 4 seconds and then crack. I caught a 6-pounder doing that.
Yep.
It was insane.
Dude, late spring and like mid-late fall, working a jerkbait like he just said is some of the most fun you'll ever have,
Mm-hmm.
especially for smallmouth. Like when that water temp hits 53 to 55 degrees for smallmouth infested waters, oh my god, dude, just hold on, get up in like 5 feet of water, anywhere from 15 feet in shower, and just start working jerkbaits like your life depends on it. And will you ever be rewarded? It is some of the most fun you'll ever have.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a good time.
Austin, sorry, now I know what you're talking about. It should have been good for a little bit now. If I'm thinking the same place you're thinking of. However, if they're still going by the same schedule, it's 10 days of yes and 10 days of no. Repeat. So while I do know guys do find success out there while during the 10 days of yes, during the 10 days of no, when it's not happening, in general, everybody I've ever talked to said you really want to go there like a day or two after everything's turned back on. So keep that in mind if you didn't already know that, but you may have already known that. You probably did because you knew about the spot.
Yeah.
We need to go there.
Haven't
I've
even
never
been there yet.
Nope.
We know about it. Heard plenty about it.
Oh,
We should go.
I might go there Friday. If I can't go up to Vermont Friday, I'll go up there. Church for yucks.
You should. For yucks.
For yucks. I'll go down that spot me and my son Jared went to this spring.
There we go.
We were talking about the ride home, the river.
Yeah. Whoa.
I'll go there Friday.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a bunch of jigs.
I don't care.
You might get caught in the power lines. That'd be sick.
You see me on the news.
That's 20 minutes away. On the news for what?
Dirty 30 in the dirty river. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Brendan, was it not a month ago that it was 80 degrees and I was dying to throw a jerkbait? Yeah. It was pretty. It's still kind of warm even for this time of the year.
It's gonna be 65 next week.
Is it really?
Yep, and rainy.
I
That's
wonder.
gonna fuck everything up.
I know. I wonder if I can change my vacation time. No, stick to. Man. Anyway, wait, are you gone the last week of December? Is that when you're gone?
Yep.
You're gonna miss out on stripers
Why?
because I'm gonna make you miss out. I'm kidding.
You're a piece of shit.
We're gonna.
Go, and then we'll go when I come back.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'll take other people. Everybody's like, I hear everybody right now.
Yeah.
Andrew's gone. Oh God, what did I even have up? That was.
What did you type?
I don't even know.
Pornhub.
It apparently opened the Windows browser and started typing in the web there. Sorry, Alex. Start throwing them this fall. Really liking them, especially price point compared to Megabass. Yeah. Brendan, Jackal Re-Range,
Yeah,
best
the
of the Vision
Jackal's
110.
pretty good.
Is that the one that cracks because of the weight transfer system?
Yeah.
Literally sounds like you're snapping your line every single time. There you go, Hammer. I'll go striper fishing. Hey, Panda! What's going on, friend? One of the few mods that we do have. We got a few. Where's Lisa been? Lisa's the other one.
Oh.
Lisa, come back. Baby, come back. I hope she sees that. How'd you do, Panda? No. You live in California. You're not supposed to skunk.
No. What the hell is wrong with you?
He's throwing big baits.
That's dumb.
Big baits for big bass. Big bass. Big bass, chase me.
Throw jigs to catch big bass. 2 bites on glide, back to back. That's it. Damn.
Yeah, you don't need to
That's
tell him
too
about jigs.
bad.
He's been to back rack twice.
Dickhead.
No fish on jigs. Wait, you've been there twice, right? He's got some big fish out of there too.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
He went when you were Brian. And the whole friggin' bullshed crew.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. No fish on jigs or drop shot.
Well, you're
All right.
terrible at finesse fishing. What do you want me to tell you, Jason? All right, so we covered a Damiki rig a lot. And jerkbait. I know jerkbait's kind of one of those like really well-known things. Swimbait Universe Crew second year.
Oh,
first
cool.
year.
Jerry
There you
just
go.
messaged me. Cool.
Nice. I touched upon blade bait a little bit. Blade bait is killer. Again, like just to kind of reiterate that point. First off, you should go to the website, 603bass.com. I'm not just saying it solely for the fact of I want traffic on the website. I'm saying it because it is an extremely well-written article from my buddy Dennis. The dude knows blade baits. There's a lot of incredibly good information there for people that are like just starting getting into it, or they kind of want to look like they've started using it and they're looking for the nuances. If you're already really good with something like that, there's not gonna be anything in there that's new to you. However, I've had a lot of people that really know their shit about blade baits read the article, and they've all come back saying that was an extremely awesome article. So, for what it's worth. And then, finesse dragging, soft plastics, you can play around with that a lot. Spider jig. Spider jig is so good. I prefer a spider jig compared to a skirted jig. Whatever you do, you really want, if you're going to do a skirted jig with a trailer, you want a trailer that has little to no action on the fall. You want something dead. Zoom Super Chunk Junior comes to mind. That has been my go-to for literally like the last 15 years. It's just, it's got a nice crawl profile. The legs stand up, but when it falls, it doesn't really do much. So it's nice for that. We touched on that. I'm not really sure there's anything else I would want to get into for specifics beyond that stuff. But if there is something you guys want us to elaborate on, now is the time to start asking questions. We've been at this for a little over an hour. I still want to keep going. By no means am I going to say that we're going to shut it down right now. But I'll come back to the chat here for now while I continue to think about if there's something else that we should be bringing up. We touched on hair jigs a little bit, but it's not something we both fish, so we're not going to dive into that.
All right.
Otherwise,
it's mainly jigs and Demiki, really. I just,
and it like changes.
But that's
every year.
also because we're fishing super deep, and we're not really targeting largemouth per se. We're mainly targeting trophy smallmouth.
Yep.
This time of year, which I kind of want to try and target some largemouth here coming up soon, but I got my own boat.
I know we should. I mean, we can just change what we're doing where we are.
That's what I'm saying. Not change what type of,
right?
Because I like fishing that deep. I love fishing that deep,
dude. If you want,
I'll just start,
and I will move us 50 feet, and you can fish.
Okay, you're right.
Literally, right. I literally just need to move the boat 50 feet. And we'll be fishing from 45 feet to the front edge of grass in 15 feet.
I could catch a 5.5 pound smallie in 60 feet with one cast this way, or I could catch an 8.5 pound largie casting 50 feet this way.
And that is not an exaggeration, by the way.
In 5 feet of water, or 20 feet of water. Sorry.
Yeah. Ooh, hammer. Andrew, you ever Demiki Lakers in ice?
I'm about to.
Yeah.
With a 4-inch tube.
Right. Jerry, funny you mentioned that. You must remember Rusty Beaubear. Not Rusty Beaubear. Jesus, sorry, that's my buddy. Rusty Works.
That's Adam's dad?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course he knows him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, because Adam and Chris go down and fish with them. Sorry, my brain's not there. I've been up really late the last ever. I was up really early today to be at work early because I work a long day and get out early. Anyway, so my dad, I don't know if you ever met my dad. I'm sure you guys talked because of Rusty. But my dad, Steve, when he started fishing with Rusty, when we moved to Milford back in 93, Rusty put my dad onto the Jig and Pig, the old Uncle Josh's Porks trailers. And when I finally did start fishing jigs, that's all I fished for
Aren't they coming back out with them?
Yes, they are. They're coming back. So yeah, sorry, really long roundabout story, but yes, I have fished them. I actually found Berkeley may or may not make something awesome for that. They actually make two different versions, but the Berkeley Maxcent makes basically the same thing as the Zoom Super Chunk Junior, but in their Maxcent line now, and I started fishing that this year.
Dude, that killed it.
What a world of a difference.
That
was huge difference
with the colder water, and it doesn't they don't really have much action, but that scent just ringing the dinner bell.
They're already backed by two companies. That's awesome. In Austin, chatterbaits for largies all winter. That's something that I don't do enough. I need to. Donk Smallby, that's an excellent question. What makes a lake grow big smallies? I have tons of deep water fisheries near me, and I'll go out and catch 30 smallies under a pound and 1 or 2 over.
Not being known.
That's a big thing. That's a huge thing. As for the rest, we don't know. We've been trying to figure that out ourselves.
We may have figured something out this past weekend that literally nobody knows, from our knowledge. on this one lake. And I talked to Fish and Game about it, and he doesn't know why or what it was. But it was in the smallmouth's throat.
It was. Open the mouth. I'm like, what's that? What's that?
Yeah, we kind of freaked out when we saw it for a second. But I feel like it's got to be an equal balance of literally everything in the lake. Like the ecosystem has to be perfect. Like there's enough bait, there's enough bait fish, there's enough crawfish, there's enough grass. Everything has to be perfect, and then those fish they can just thrive. I feel like the deeper the lakes, it's gonna be better because those, like the bait fish, like the little smelt, they can just go down to 60, 70, 80, 100 feet or however deep they go, and they can just hang out. And those bass will just follow them down and just munch them up. Jesus, this chat is going crazy.
Cam, I'm looking at the weather to double check that. I totally forgot we were supposed to fish Whitney Friday.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to go catch 100 fish. What's the issue?
I got invited to go back to where we've been going every day.
With who?
Every trip. TJ.
You should go. But
weather looks good for us to still go there Sunday.
Yeah.
I should change it up.
Oh man, I got my Christmas party for work on Saturday night.
Cam, hit me up with Messenger. We'll talk after the stream, bud. Are you off Friday? Get out of the way.
Sorry.
Get out of here. Yeah, Panda, you're not wrong. St. Lawrence River and Great Lakes are a buffet line. Chad.
That's what I'm saying.
Chad, you're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying with Chad.
Apparently, if you can find the wintering hole for those smallmouth, if you know where they are, you can go up there and catch a lot of fish. Not big fish though. That's the thing. That's the only thing I'm having a really hard time with this.
I mean, we throw back 2.5 to 3 pounders like it's nothing now during the winter.
Yeah, because
it's like, why catch those when you can just go catch 4s and 5s?
That's what I'm saying. Should I take Cam up there? Cam, will go for a ride?
No. And if he does, you better open your goddamn mouth.
I'll blindfold him the whole ride up. Just start driving around for like an hour.
I'll be in the backseat waterboarding him. What did you see?
Panda, you actually really good point. There might be too many smallmouth in the lake. That is absolutely a thing. Overpopulation stunts the growth of all the fish in the lake because there's still only so much forage to go around that it can't support the growth of any more fish. It just sustains. Every body of water is able to sustain a certain poundage of fish per acre of that body of water. So if it's 100 pounds, you're going to do 101 pounders or 10 pounders or a mix. But typically what I've been finding with a lot of these lakes is it seems to be not necessarily one or the other, but almost one or the other. Like usually it's all these lakes are just loaded with stunted rats, and then maybe like 5% of the lake is giants. And then, or you get lakes like our, home base that we've been going to for years, where it's like a good almost 50-50 mix of giants and just everything. You can go out there one day and you catch 30 fish, and it's going to be a dead even mix of 1s, 2s, and 3s, and then a handful of, maybe not a handful, but at least a couple of 4s. Yeah. So like you got, like that's a very healthy fishery.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to catch a 4 or 2 while you're there. Yeah,
or a couple 5s, or lose an 8. Sorry, very lost. I'm sorry. I had to.
Going home. God.
Pouring out French's fish.
That was big. I can still see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Panda. See, if you guys had ice fishermen, you wouldn't have that problem. You'd have our problem, where the ice fishermen only go in and take all the big fish. And
like, oh yeah, that's a good one. That's good eating.
Yeah,
what's that, like 8 pounds?
Oh yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. That's not a 30-year-old fish or anything.
But row everything back if it's a bass. If you're ice fish, just do it. It's,
You know what?
if you're a bass, if you like catching bass during the summer, you're probably going to like catching bass in the summer if you don't throw them back. I mean, if you don't, like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah. I did my good juju. Yeet. There you go. You read that. I did my good juju this past Sunday.
Oh, shit.
6 1/4 pound brown trout. I still feel really bad about this. I really, really wish you had caught that fish. I was talking to Kyle about it and John, and I don't target trout ever. There's been like maybe 4 times in my life where I actually went and walked streams around my area right after they stocked, catch a bunch, little 8-inchers. I knew it was fun, but like I never ever target trout. Never did it when I was growing up. My dad always had me on bass fishing since day one. But that said, if I catch a big one, like I appreciate every trout I catch because they're not easy to come by, especially the fact I'm never targeting them. And the fight on them is phenomenal when you do get into a good one. I've caught some good Lakers. I've caught actually quite a few really good rainbow trout.
Big rainbows.
Caught a 4 to 4.5 pound rainbow last year.
Big rainbows.
We caught 2 3s that I let you keep. They were like low 3s, like 2.5 to 3 pounds, somewhere in that window.
Yeah, I'd say 2. Yeah,
like good eaters. You know, they're not giants that I feel bad about taking like a trophy fish out, but they're not runts either. Like it's just a good solid rainbow.
I mean, for fishing streams and stuff, that is an absolute giant rainbow for around here.
Right.
For lakes, you can get them pretty freaking giant.
Yeah.
So a 3-pound rainbow out of a big deep lake isn't that uncommon.
No, probably above average, but not like
it's definitely above average. Yeah.
Yeah. But
they taste great.
I remember
Those females with that pink meat.
Woo! And then I caught that. I never even crossed my mind to keep this fish on Sunday.
I wouldn't let you keep it.
No,
No.
It was funny because someone brought it up. They're like, "Did you keep it?" And then I was like, for a brief moment, I was like, "Oh, wow, no, I didn't keep it. I didn't even ask Andrew if he wanted to keep it because I know you like to eat them, but it didn't even cross my mind. Like I knew that maybe not a trophy, but it was a big brown trout.
That's a trophy brown trout,
and
for sure.
Quick picture, quick way, threw it back. Let her go, let him grow. I appreciate trophies.
Yeah, I have respect for big trout.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was incredible. And circling back on that about overpopulation, yeah, Panda's spot on. You got to start keeping a lot of these smaller fish. It's the only way you're gonna be able to help doing it. You know, bass fishermen are our own worst enemies, where the vast majority of us only practice catch and release. So, to a certain extent, we do hurt ourselves. It wouldn't be a bad idea every once in a while to go in and start keeping some fish. Which, honestly, the more I think about it, so that spot, well, I can talk about it because we already did a stream on otter.
Oh yeah,
that used to be great for big fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then talking to other people, it used to be completely unknown ice fishermen, and they became completely known ice fishermen.
That was my first like legitimate person, like PB.
Yeah, you're 505, 5 pound 5 ounce.
502,
or it's 5 pound 2 ounce.
502 or 503.
Somewhere in there, still big fish.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And aside from my previous PB at 6 pounds 4 ounces, that's the only other 5+ pounder I've seen or even heard out of there.
God, that's like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And like that was the last one, like the last 15, 20 years. But that place used to be like our other spot we call home base, right? You go out there, you catch a bunch of fish, but like at least one guy's getting a 4 pounder every time we went out there. We'll fishing with my dad and my uncle, fishing with friends. And then like it was hard to get into the 3s, and then it was hard to get in like the high 2s. Now it's starting to bounce back because it's still really popular with ice anglers, but I think what happened is they took all the big fish, so all you're left with is a bunch of 1s and 2s and all stunted growth because all little fish explode because there's no real big fish to keep eating on them.
Right.
And instead of
turns into a big little fish lake.
Yeah. But now the quality's starting to bounce back. So I'm wondering if now the ice fishermen have kind of brought it almost full circle where they started keeping so many of the schmediums that it's allowing some of the slightly bigger schmediums to really feast and grow when they're not being caught. So that's where the quality started to come back, because the average size on that lake is definitely rebounded.
Oh yeah, it definitely has.
It's crazy how much it's rebounded. So start keeping more fish. Keep those mediums, all those mid-sized fish.
I also think it has to do a lot with the like the birds in the area too, like all the loons and the cormorants.
Oh God, yeah.
They're smoking all those little fish, which is allowing the bass to actually grow instead of, I mean, not the little ones that get eaten, but
Right.
they can actually like grow because they're not getting eaten by the fish, but they'll scare the shit out of. I've seen a duck get pulled under by a bass, a full-size duck.
That's insane.
That was the night that we went out there, and those like the 100 ducks going by you, and then I just hear
yeah.
"Rah, rah, rah, rah," coming at me. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. That was insane.
Chad, like schmediums. You ever heard schmediums?
Never heard schmediums?
Small, medium, schmedium. It sounds better than smedium.
Smedium.
Damn it, Josh! You got first win on the new friggin' Warzone map. We were tied at 30 wins each until like literally 2 nights ago. 2 nights before the new the Verdansk got wiped for the new one, Caldera or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he texts me, he goes, win number 31. It's about to go on the records permanent. I beat you. Like, bastard. Cam, I've caught big ass rainbows and Lakers and winning on accident. You hook into it and think it's a 5-pound smallie, then feel head shakes. You're like, it's not a smallie. Every freaking time. Oh, I said that about that big brown I just caught. Because I looked at him and I was like, that's big, that's big. Oh, I don't know if that's a trout or big. He just starts laughing. And then, because it first it had like 2 big head shakes, like, whoom, whoom, like what you expect as soon as a Laker starts shaking his head, right? And then just steady pull. And then whoom, 1 big head shake, steady pull. And then whoom, whoom. But it wasn't like, when you catch a Laker, that's how it feels. Whoom, whoom, whoom,
Yeah, you
whoom,
just
whoom,
feel
whoom.
they're just death rolling, trying to get you off.
Yeah.
But then it came up, and he's like, "Oh, that's a big Laker." I'm like, I don't know. And then he's like, "Is it a big rainbow?" I'm like, maybe. And then it came up, and it turned. And I saw the spots. I was like, it's a giant brown.
Ugh.
Get that freaking thing! And then I punched it in the head with the net because I was sitting there trying to film it and catch it, and
Like his daddy yelling, put your phone down.
put your phone up. Yeah, I know.
I was dying laughing. Hammer time. Above 6 is the absolute trophy Walter. All right. That's what a lot of... So the thing I had... Ooh. Hey, thanks, Jerry. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I had a hard time with, because I don't trout fish. Like, it's... I appreciate them. They're beautiful fish. I will be happily catch one anytime I can. If I get a good keeper size, I'll keep it. I love eating fish just as much as the next person. But I don't have... Like, everything about my life is bass fishing. So I have no comparison, no scale comparison for what I caught. So I texted Kyle and you and somebody else. I texted a third person. I think I asked John in person.
When? About?
The other day. Not yesterday, Monday. I'm like,
About
the brown trout.
Yeah.
Like, put this in perspective for a smallmouth. What did I catch? And the consensus was about it was the equivalent of like a 6.5 to 7 pound smallmouth.
Yeah.
For New England.
Yes.
Which I was like,
100%.
okay, goddamn.
That's a good
See,
goddamn
now,
fish.
and I knew it was big, but like because I don't do it, I couldn't truly understand, appreciate just what I had caught until I had that to put in perspective for me.
And then there are kids catching 10 to 12 pounders out of there.
The fact that Henry caught a 12-pound freaking brown, literally double the size of that in the same lake.
Mm-hmm.
TJ caught an 8 or 9 pounder last year. He did it again this year.
It's hard to get that size brown trout unless you go to like
Great Lakes. Or,
Milwaukee, like
yeah.
where they catch 20, 30 pounders. But that's crazy.
God damn.
Yeah.
Cam, Wentworth is terrible. So many 1 pound smallies. You're not wrong about that. Panda. My cousin, I saw more than 6 dead ducks semi-floating. They were tied to the bottom and just dead subsurface. What?
Catfishing?
Almost 10. Weird.
Maybe they were decoys and the water rose. Maybe. Unless they're real, who knows?
Interesting. Don't explain. We couldn't do Warzone. PUBG guy caught my friend. Funny enough, I played Oh, dude, I put too many hours. I think I put 500 hours
Just
in PUBG before
like
Warzone.
just dead ass ducks.
just dead ass though.
Oh man, maybe they're
Bro,
just
deadass.
dead ass though. Seriously, maybe they're. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to drown him. Maybe they shot him.
Tied to the bottom ass. Do you have muskie or anything in there? Like, could it be baiting for like trophy, like
Big
toothy
catfish
critters?
or maybe
they catfish?
Maybe big pike or no, I don't think so. No, that's got to be pike out there. Where's he at?
Unless there was a good, I mean, that's got to be a good way to call in a bunch of bait fish that would slowly start eating away at the carcasses, which would then attract the bass.
Yeah, then the bass would just. We have catfish and big Oh,
Striper. Oh.
well, this shit's way to go.
You're not wrong. No muskie.
No, it's kind of
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, they're out there in trout country too.
Midwest-ish kind of is musky stuff.
Every time I hear muskie, I was gonna think of that stupid TikTok video, audio, whatever. The kid, muskie.
I never saw that. Never saw it.
I hope to God you experience it too.
God, dude, you watch so much TikTok. I have like 20 things sent to me by you every day. I'm like, I don't have time for this shit.
I look at it when I go to the bathroom. Okay, that's my TikTok time.
Okay, I'll start watching as I go to the bathroom.
See, that's my TikTok time. But yeah, Brendan knows. Dan, how many more trips north before you start going south? I don't know. That's a good question. Now I got to figure out what I'm gonna do for Friday.
When we get bored of catching 4.5 to 5 pound smallies.
Right, we're definitely going back up there this Sunday while we still can, because the water temp is still ripe, and it's like, the thing is, the blade bait bite hasn't even gone off there yet. There is still so much water to fish that they haven't even moved into yet. There's still probably thousands of trophy smallies in there that are still roaming out and nothing. They haven't even moved up. They haven't finished their winter transition yet. It's screwed up. We have tons of time. What is that? Wow, that's big. Round.
23.5 pounds of Maine.
That's big.
I believe it. There's a lot of water in Maine, though.
Yeah, see, Cam knows. So, yeah, I don't know. Right now the tentative plan is to go back up north this weekend, and then the following weekend is start going down to Connecticut, start fishing Candlewood Lake. Derek, the owner of Beast Coast, keeps asking me, "When are you coming down, man?" Because the last 2 years now I've gone down there and I fished with him. We had a blast with him last year, me and Andrew and him, for a half day.
God
damn. What is it?
Fucking Andrew.
Oh yeah, when you hooked into that, what was it? It was like 22.5-inch smallmouth, or 20. No, it was 23 something.
23 something.
But it was only 4.5 pounds.
Yeah, I mean only 4.5 pounds, but
right,
but for the length.
23.5. We're like, dude, that's he's got like a 5.5 or a 6. Yeah, no, 4.5.
Yeah.
And the longest, skinniest smallmouth I've ever seen. It was built like a river smallie. They're just chasing the alewife all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are freaking long and lean and strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andrew hooked into what we thought was going to be the biggest fish of our lives, only for it to be a stump.
Oh yeah.
and Derek was losing his shit. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah,
that was the most glorious hook set I've ever seen.
I set the freaking hook on that thing, dude. I thought it was a big fish, and I went for it.
Toes. You were up on your tippy toes trying to get.
Was I?
Oh yeah, dude. You're like straight, body straight, planked out, tippy toes, like.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
63 degrees, so falling water temp, Panda. Barely sunny bass, shallow, maybe like 3. Yeah, I would have started with those first transition points is where I would have gone when I saw that water temp. Dan. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. You were talking about the Vermont spot? It's funny because, there's the 2 ramps. There's the shallow one and the really steep one. I had to use the really steep one the other day because the other one was just pure ice. I was not messing with it. When we were loading the boat in, I was going, half a mile an hour as I'm backing towards it. Then all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to put that in 4-wheel drive now.
Yeah.
And it's just inch backwards. Mega slide.
And I was still hooked to the trailer on the boat. Here we go. It's
Just
cold.
Stand in front of the boat.
No, we should do one day. We should just drive all the way up there and just use waders and sit down on the shore and just like wade down in the water and just.
Dude, I guarantee you we can catch
Probably a 5 pound smallie. If we sat there all day, we would probably catch a 5 to 6 pound smallie. and maybe a big largie.
I was gonna say we could wading from there, knowing what we know, where to cast, how to fish, especially if we're throwing that Demiki like taut lining is swinging back to
With
us.
a bobber.
Float and fly.
That'd be cool.
We could honestly probably catch it. We could still probably catch a 20-pound bag.
From sure.
20-pound bag challenge, shore challenge. God, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna do it because I want to get my
no, but the boat, yeah, because the boat's nice.
130 miles and not use it.
No, we just wouldn't bring the boat.
No.
That's
I'll pay all
dumb.
that money for my boat to leave it at my house. The hell else were we saying? Oh, we covered everything. Oh, one of the things we didn't really cover, but we covered it a lot last week, was location. Steep banks, really steep rocky banks, a
As
variety of rocks.
Deep as you can find.
And then the flats adjacent to them, like bottom of the bank out like 200-300 feet, even 300 feet, I would say, like in that window, depending on the time of this time of the year and what the weather's done for how it's shifted, what the water temp currently is. Like right now, the place we've been fishing is still like mid-40s, low to mid-40s. Like they're not at the bottom of the bank and they're not just off of it. They're like
They're way
200
out.
feet off of it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But
Like the largies,
those are great starting spots.
I mean, the two largies that we've caught in the last 2 weeks
They were on the bank.
were on the bank. Like probably 30 to 35, say 35 to 40 feet. Probably 30, 35. Yeah. Anywhere between 30 and 40 feet is where they were on the bank. And all the smallies, I mean, I don't even know how big where I caught that 528 out of. It could have been anywhere from probably 45 to 60 feet.
Yeah,
Because I was out over that edge.
you think you were over the edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think I was like far over it. I think I was like, I don't know, just cresting. Maybe. I don't know. I really couldn't tell.
I had to think about that. We were fishing a spot out in like kind of,
That's probably in 50 feet.
yeah. It was off a mainland point. And there's like a steep bank, flattens out a little bit, and then it comes up to this high point, deep bowl, like 55, 60 feet in the middle, back up to a high point, and then tanks off of a ledge on the other side down to like 65 feet-ish, I think. And you cast over that second lip.
Yeah.
So who knows? And that hump tops out like 38 feet, I think, if memory serves correct, roughly somewhere in there.
I definitely
Shallower
wasn't.
than 40.
I definitely wasn't over the top of the hump yet.
No, but yeah, good. Who knows how far up you would come up at? Like, were you still at 60 feet or were you at like 40? We'll never know. All we know is that you were on the back side of that hump, the main lake side of that steep bank.
Mm-hmm.
Always good to know.
God, that thing was big.
Have a good night, Hammer. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate it. For everybody that's still here, by the way, if you could go ahead and drop a like on the stream, you haven't done that yet. For anybody that's new that's dropped in since the beginning of the stream, please do so. Greatly appreciate it. It does help.
Like 29 for 29. Check that out.
Hey, oh, very nice. Thanks, everybody. You're all the best.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
You guys like us. Oh, 30 for 29.
Hey,
How does that even happen?
This has been actually really good. This is really good, really informational. It's only been an hour and 40 minutes. We've been pretty well on point. Is there anything else you guys want us to cover before we get too late here in the night?
Hey, thanks, Adam.
Thanks, buddy. What else didn't we cover when we were talking about like this time of the year for either baits or techniques or areas to fish? Bubba, I saw you in there in the chat earlier. You know I wasn't actually going to give up locations, right?
Who's this?
Bubba Bass Anglers. Every time I post, he's like, where are we fishing? Like just joking around. And then I wasn't paying attention to the verbiage I used when I was, posting on social media for everybody to come out to the show tonight. And I said, and talking about locations, meaning like, general areas to fish.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the
that,
comment,
yeah.
and he's like, you had me at locations.
Can you fish shallow again? In the spring? 5 more
months.
weeks? Oh, 5 more months. Yeah, not weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm
Well,
way off. Well, depending on where you
January, February, March, April, 4 months. 3.5 to 4 months. Depends on
months,
where
that's
you
it?
are.
We're not putting the boat away this year. It's only 4 months.
I know. But it depends on snow. That's going to be your biggest limiting factor.
The ramps.
Right. We were probably going to start going to the Cape really soon here. But at least we know this weekend we can still go wherever the hell we want.
Depending on how much snow we get right now, because it's pretty It was dumping pretty hard when I got here.
It's going to be warmish enough. And actually, it's supposed to rain.
Yeah, it's going to be
warm
60
on
something
Saturday.
next week anyway.
Right. But this Saturday, it's supposed to be
Oh
warm
yeah,
and rain.
no.
So it's going to knock everything out.
Yeah, this weekend's way closer than this next week.
That's going to make for a slippery drive Sunday morning again.
Hey.
Which is not fun. But yeah, I would say, like, even in southern New Hampshire, 4 months from now.
Wait.
That puts us the first week of April. Yeah. Fine.
Can we go there?
We could.
Because that's not a lake. That's not a trout lake.
No, it's lake trout and landlocked salmon. So you're allowed to fish it till December 31st. I don't know.
We might not have to go far.
Your lake, namesake lake, that we fished recently, over by your dad's place.
Yeah.
It was frozen over on my drive home today. Granted, a little bit smaller.
Yeah, but that
and
place
not
is
deep.
well over 100 feet deep.
I know, but it's in an area of the state that it gets really cold. It is up there a little bit in elevation by comparison.
It is.
F that. I veto.
Okay.
Brendan, modify one of them leaf blowers to blow hot air and melt the boat ramps.
Let's get a heat gun.
Ooh, Carl, did you find better bites on the compact BC tungsten jigs using max scent trailers? I haven't used that combo yet, although I have to actually go look. Dude, dude, I still have some of those trailers, I think.
Compact
Where is
BC
that?
tungsten jigs.
Where? Am I blind? Where is that trailer? Oh, it's in the boat. Okay, sorry. I have all my tackle I'm not using up here on shelves beside me, and I was looking for my black jig trailers. They're in the boat. I'm still pretty sure I have those max scent trailers.
I have an
And
idea.
we have the open water snipers.
I have an idea.
Throw that combo.
No.
What?
Can't tell you guys until it works.
Okay. More secrets. But I don't know, man. Like, I've done pretty well without that max scent trailer, but that max scent trailer, like, literally made a huge difference this year.
Yeah. Especially in the spring.
Yep. Then that really cold water, like, it made the difference. So, buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan, I would like to think it will. I really hope it thaws the lot out a little bit. If not, 280 pounds of sand that I bring with me. So I'll dump all 4 bags out if I need to.
We've done it. We've definitely done
it multiple times.
We've put gravel down for launches. We've
towed a snowblower to a boat launch.
Mm-hmm.
That will still be the highlight of how bad do you really want to go fishing.
How bad do you want to catch a PB?
Yeah.
Well, not without even knowing it.
Watching the weather like a hawk. Okay, if we go out and clear the ramp on this day with a snowblower, then
tomorrow
by this day it'll be
it
clear.
should be okay.
Enough.
Yeah, like we get there and it's mint.
As the kiddos say, we're built different.
We should just go there.
No,
just kidding.
Listen, I still got smallmouth on my brain.
I do too.
Why?
But
Because
I
I know
big
that
largie.
literally out of these next 2 trips, the potential for one of us to crack a 6 or even a 7 is as high as it's gonna get.
I know. It really is.
Unless we go back to Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
You know what?
I really don't care for that place. It's fun. It's beautiful. You catch a lot of fish. Place is awesome. I love the place,
It's beautiful,
but I fucking hate it.
I feel like the 3rd trip is going to be the charm.
It probably will, most likely,
it
because we're learning so much. We've already learned so much since then. Why can't we put it to work up there?
Right.
We definitely can.
Give it a shot. Randy, I'll have to give that place a look. Sounds good. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I would really like to go back up there sooner than later. I mean, you know what? I mean, my 3rd trip, it actually finally treated me nice. Because I caught that 4.89. So not huge, but still pretty big. I know. Just. Bloop. We'll just do that. Should have done that first. Yeah, dude, Cam, this place is different. That's why, like, totally forgot about our plans for Winnie on Friday. That's why we've been going back here. It's been done, I don't even know how many times in the last 2 years alone. The place has got giants. My buddy caught a 5-pound 15-ounce there back in September. Smallmouth.
He's tied the state record twice.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about him. But yeah,
Oh.
then there's our other buddy who tied the state record twice.
6 pounds, 13 ounces.
How many multiple 25+ pound bags have been caught there this fall already?
A lot.
It's insane. Absolute insanity. So that's why we keep going back there. One, because we know the lake really well now. I've been there.
It's almost like our home base now. Like we just know not everything about the lake, but we have a good amount of spots that we know we can catch fish at.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the fact that, I mean, I went there this fall and I put in a lot of time one day just scouting the lake, so I know it really well now at this point. At least, within a couple hundred feet of the shoreline. There's still a lot of different areas they need to scout in the middle to kind of get an idea of like, okay, is there really anything here, or is it as barren as I think it is? Yeah, man, there's something special about that place. It's crazy how much better the fishing is in Vermont compared to New Hampshire.
Yeah, I mean, even Sean said, the Fish and Game officer.
Yeah,
he's like, he just mentioned, he's like, because I told you a couple weeks, me and you were having a conversation. I was like, the Connecticut River is like a definitive line. I was like, he said he's like the Connecticut River, and we're both like at the same time, we're like, it's a definitive line. Yeah. Like it is, it really is. Anything west of the Connecticut is just better.
Big time.
It is.
And my opinion, I have nothing to substantiate this with other than it's just my opinion. But my opinion, because Vermont has catch and release only on all largemouth from December 1st, inclusive to, I think it's the second week in June or May, I forget. You cannot keep bass, period. That, to me, I think is the biggest difference maker. Mm-hmm. There's just as much pressure out there. Like, you think about how many small bodies of water there are here. Like, there's not quite as many bodies of water in Vermont, but there's also a lot less anglers in Vermont, even if you account for all the people that travel there. Then you look at, New Hampshire has tons. Like, New Hampshire alone has 650 bodies of water in the state with public access. Wait, no, that's not true. With bathymetry maps that New Hampshire Fish and Game has on the website. Of those, I'm not exactly sure how many have public access, but I think it's over 400. But we also get a lot of out-of-staters. A lot of people from Massachusetts that come up. Just people from all over the place that, in general, have vacation here.
I don't know why anybody from Mass would come up here to go largemouth fishing. It just seems dumb to me.
I think because the number of public spots you can fish in Mass is so much worse.
No, true.
That's the biggest thing. And especially Memorial to Labor Day, like almost everything down there is locked down. They remove all the parking. They remove access to all these lakes to make it residents only. You have to have a parking pass, all this bullshit.
Yeah, true.
And some of them, they're just straight up making private because Massachusetts sucks ass.
To be blunt, yeah.
Yep. What is this? I gotta put in a filter to block this, whatever this is.
No idea.
I really wish New Hampshire would put in some form of ice fishing law, which I know is going to piss off a lot of the whole live free or die diehards. But I don't know, man. I think there's a lot to be said there about the fact of how many people keep fish in New Hampshire. And like, whenever somebody talks about keeping bass, what do they say? Keep them in the winter when they're at their cleanest. So the vast majority of people are keeping them during the ice season. And there's no limit on them. There's a number limit. You can only keep 2 a day, but there's no size limit on it. There should be a slot limit. Mm-hmm. Increase the limit to 4 or 5, or even it's 2 right now. Go to 3 or 4, but then put a slot limit in 12 to 16 inches.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good compromise.
That's a good size too to take.
It is. It's a great eater size. You're still gonna eat a couple of great fillets out of those.
Pound and a half to maybe 2 pounds, depending on the fish.
16-inch fish. Yeah, I mean 2.5 to 3 pounds even some days.
Some days, yeah.
Especially if you catch them that have been feeding pretty good in certain ponds. Yeah, it's 16-inch will go 3 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that'd be like on the really high side. Hell, I'll even go.
Say
to
average 2
inches.
to 2.5 pounds, probably most likely.
Yeah. If you want to go, I would 12 to 16. So that way you're really taking good care of all the 3+ pounders during the time of the year where they're most likely to get eaten, in my opinion.
But at the same time, they got to worry about the trout. And those bigger fish are going to eat the trout.
But that's why we have like 30 designated trout ponds in the state.
It's true.
They're not worried about it. They've already got all those ponds locked away, so you can't touch them anyway.
Yep.
And they're not supposed to be bass in those lakes anyway. They manage them, so they've got their dedicated trout waters. Let's do something to help out the bass guys. Let's start throwing some funds and help our way.
It's wishful thinking.
What?
It's wishful thinking. But I agree with you.
Yeah. Alec, especially in Western Mass, you're super limited for largemouth. Yeah. Cam. In Vermont, I assume people also go to Champlain a lot and is a desecration from some of the medium-sized lakes there. And is a distraction. Sorry. It's like, what? Mark, push your idea to a local rep. I got to do something about it because I do feel very passionate about it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Let me That's spam.
No, this is a guy I know. I was in the Navy with him.
Yeah, but I think his shit got hacked. That's spam. Let me have your Cash App tag for direct
Oh yeah, get fucked.
Yeah, dude, that's spam. He got his shit hacked. People use dual verification logins on all your social media, and that shit doesn't happen.
Man, whatever. I usually don't respond to anybody anyway, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think we've covered a lot. It's been almost 2 hours, and I'm trying to keep these a little bit less than 2 hours, like hour and a half ish would be ideal. There's still a lot to cover. Again, for anyone that's still watching at this point, if you haven't liked it yet, please do so. We'll greatly appreciate it. More importantly, if you are subscribed to the channel and you have not turned on notifications yet for posts, definitely do that. It makes it easier anytime we go live. Every once in a while, we post shorts, which are basically like a TikTok version or a reel version of what YouTube offers. And then just general uploads, because I don't have a set schedule anymore because I just have too much going on to be able to comfortably rely on a regular upload schedule. Though that said, the next video will be up on Monday as well. That's our 24-pound day of smallies. Do you know how fucking amazing that was? 24. Oh yeah, you.
In the words of
That's
Scotty
how
Wallace.
amazing it
24.17. Is that what it said?
7-0.
Was it 24.7?
I think so. I could be wrong.
I think it was 24.1.
No, because our before it was 23.7. That's what it was.
Yeah.
On our other one, I don't know.
I happen to have it.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Click.
Ooh, what was that?
Who do you think? Oh no. Wait, is that? Come back. Baby, come back.
Oh, it's FXR.
Was it this day? Yeah. 24.15 pounds for 5 smallies.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's really good.
Dave, have a good night, buddy. So any recommendations for future topics? I'm always asking. I want to hear it. In general, like, or you know what, even if there's something specific or just in general about what you guys want to see us doing and talk about. I want to start kind of opening these things up more and more to be not so specific and just more generic. There's a lot that we're going to talk about over the, like, probably in about 3 or 4 weeks from now throughout the rest of the winter. I want to get, just start bringing in a bunch of product to start talking about, doing little demos with the bait tank and all that stuff. As we get really slow to the point where like nobody's out fishing, we have a lot of ice fishing stuff to cover, which I'm learning. So I need to bring in other people to discuss things as well. Andrew knows a lot more than I do, so he's going to end up carrying a ton of those conversations as well. But we have a lot to carry us through the winter, by all means. However, the winter also provides us a great time to start really kind of experimenting with what we're doing. So any recommendations, suggestions, ideas, hopes, and dreams, hit us up.
We know what we should do?
What?
It'd be really fun if we could do it.
What?
If we could figure out a way to do it live stream in my shelter while we're fishing. Ice
We can do
fishing.
that. So that can be planned out easily enough, because I'll have a battery pack for my phone, and my phone's already obviously hooked up to the channel.
Right.
So I could live stream either. That's actually a really good question. If you guys wanted to watch a stream from the water, where would you prefer to watch that from? Would you prefer to watch it from TikTok or Facebook, where your phone would likely be vertical, or YouTube, where you can watch it with your phone sideways?
I mean,
although actually YouTube, if we're
Probably
streaming,
just do
you might be able to do
YouTube. You guys are
vertical, too.
already watching anyway, so.
Right, and if I do YouTube, literally anybody can watch it. You don't need an account to watch it. Versus like Instagram and Facebook, they get, like Facebook, if you're not friends with me or following my page, and you're not going to see it.
Right.
Versus if it's on YouTube, literally anybody can watch it anytime. Rod, reel, line. We gotta do that again. We're gonna be covering rods again very, very soon here with covering a lot of stuff from Lou's for examples and stuff, but going over the whole rod, reel, line, just recommendations and suggestions and everything like that, with an addendum for my buddy John at Wicked Custom Rods, so we can cover, like all of the off-the-shelf offerings and everything that would work for the whole friggin' shebang of techniques out there. But then also get into the high-end, super custom stuff for those that are looking to take their loadout to that next step. And then Cam also said boat tour. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. Not much has changed, but I have an idea for how that could be presented for something fresh anyway. That would actually be a good one, especially for this time of the year. Good. Guests on the show. Randy, if you want guests on the show, I'm curious, what kind of guests are you looking for? Just any guests in general? With that, there's a reason why we haven't had that many guests lately. 1, 2 mics. I hate the audio setup that I have compared to when it's just the two of us to literally any other configuration. The audio sucks. I need to come up with a solution for that. Right now, the way this whole stream setup is 2 mics going to one audio device of sorts, which then goes to my PC, and then I have to use software to turn all that input into one input and one output. That one output goes to the streaming software, and voila, everything works. I need a new thing that allows for 4 microphone setups, and then I need to buy 2 new mics because we're going to have multiple people here very soon. Swimbait Scrutiny's coming back. We're going to have them back to talk swimbaits very soon, but I've been waiting to do that to either get one good microphone.
These guys.
Yeah, buddy. One good microphone I can set up in the middle that can capture everyone with good quality, but the only downside of that is that still echoes like a bastard. Or I buy 2 more of these microphone setups and set those up. So that's food for thought. The other reason I haven't had guests call in is because I still haven't figured out how to set up the whole audio setup to have a guest call in that we can see them, they can see us, you guys can see them and us, and I can feed the audio through naturally so it goes through at the same audio quality that you hear from our mics.
Get that Dennis guy back. I liked him.
And then I also then need to pipe it. So I need to pipe the audio to the stream and then to us in headphones. I have a headphone splitter right there that I could not, for the life of me, figure out this setup, and I lost my patience and I lost time. So there's a lot of technical difficulties, and honest to God, at this point, I'm thinking about hiring somebody to help me troubleshoot all this shit because it's driving me up a wall. But at the very least, I need to get, you know what I might be able to do? You know what I might be able to do?
No idea.
I gotta think about this. So I do know, and what I was thinking here is if we have Tom and Tyler over from Smelt Scrutiny doing a guest stream, we might be able to get away with just the 2 mics and point it right here in between the 2 of us.
Probably, yeah.
And if I turn up the input read a little bit better, we might be okay.
Should be
I don't
fine.
know. We'll have to do some testing on that. And that'd be okay, because I can put one in here, right in between the 2 of them, and especially if all 4 of us are kind of facing in like this anyway,
Or
then
just
everybody's
put
still
that-
talking towards it,
Jesus.
versus, me talking directly to someone here and you talking straight ahead.
Or
The
just put that
microphone's
other
here.
one right in the middle.
Which one? Oh, Chad! Right there, that box back there, MXL. I totally forgot. Chad gave me a mic to try out. Let me borrow a mic to try out. That's what he uses for when he's playing drums and he's recording.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So,
Huh.
Food for thought. That, he said that's supposed to be really good for just like open ambiance. So when we're talking in group, that would work. I'll have to try that. I'll have to test it out.
Yeah.
Dennis will definitely be back. Don't worry about that. John from Wicked Custom Rods will be back on at some point too. I would love to team up with Travis from Smallmouth Crush. I'm gonna try and make that happen.
Travis. Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, you reach out to Travis, because last time I don't know. I don't get it, man. Like
I'm dumb. People like dumb people.
I don't get it, 'cause like, I reach out to all these people and like I know I've done nothing to like bother anybody or offend them. I'm just like, hey, friendly guy, I'm just curious, question for you, and like everybody just ignores me, and then you reach out and like everybody's like on the ball. They're like,
I don't know. I'm just some special-minded kid that people may feel bad for. I don't know.
What is it about me that I turn people off?
Why do people like me? I don't like people.
I don't get it. Why? Like I get why everybody likes you. You're easygoing and everything, but like I feel I'm the same way, and then like I can't get these people to even look at me. Never mind talk to me. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It's not like I go. I ignore it after that. Like I don't say anything. I just sit back and be like, do I smell? Nobody wants to talk to
No,
me.
Travis
No.
Smallmouth Crush. He's out in the Midwest
New York.
somewhere. Is he in New York?
No, Maryland.
Maryland. Really?
No. What's
Oh,
the,
I thought he was from like Wisconsin or something. I don't freaking know.
I want to say Maryland. What's that bay that they fish for the Bass Northern Opens?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Brackish water, really impacted by the tides. It's eluding me.
Starts with a P, right? I think.
I don't remember.
I don't either. I'm probably way off.
I don't think he's in Philly. What the hell is that bay?
Potanapo?
I
I'm just kidding.
got a lot of messages.
Maybe
to get
he's
to.
probably from Philly. I don't know. I don't remember.
F you, Chad. He said you suck. And my wife, you're just built different. Coughing.
Chesapeake.
Yeah, Chesapeake Bay. Thank you. I'm pretty sure he lives very local to that. Because in the winter, he says, I'm pretty sure, from like watching these videos and streams here and there.
Maybe he's
he says
originally
he,
from the
goes
Midwest.
home. I think you're right. Originally from the Midwest.
'Cause
I
he's-
think over by the Chesapeake
yeah.
is where he calls home now. But then during the summer, he spends almost the entire summer up on the St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario. So that's where he spends almost the whole summer guiding. I've met him twice. The last two, so obviously there wasn't a show last year. So 2019 and 2018. No.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh,
We had
2020.
we had-
2020 and 2019.
we hung out with him for a
Oh, yeah.
while.
I know.
I got a funny story,
We
but I'm not
talked.
going to tell. I can't tell it.
We hung out. We all got rowdy. It was a great time. It was an absolutely great time. It was a greater time for them.
It was after show. It was
After
fun.
hours.
After hours. After the
Cameras
show
go
was
off.
fun.
Microphones shut off.
Yep.
Phones get shut off.
Phone, everything got shut off.
It was
Everything broke.
he's a good dude. We had fun both the last 2 years that we hung out up there. I'm hoping he comes back in this year. He had a booth there every year,
He
so
probably will.
I'd like to think so.
I rep his shirt all the time. Why not?
I don't have one of those shirts yet. More on Sonar 360 and side imaging. Funny you mention that. When we were out fishing this past weekend, I brought an extra GoPro and clamp, but didn't realize my clamp was broken.
We didn't do it.
No, because I was going to point to the GoPro at the graph so I could, like, as things are happening, I could, like, point to that and show that footage at the same time. But I got to fix my other GoPro clamp so I can make that work next time. So, yes, that's going to happen more. There's a ton on that to cover, especially how we utilize it for how we're finding fish, finding structure, how we're relating to it, like how I'm interpreting it, the whole 9 yards. He lives in Pennsylvania, fishes the Potomac a lot. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that. Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. It's been 2 hours. So, that's good enough. Thank you, everybody that's watched. More importantly, for anybody that liked it, thank you so much. For anybody that shared it, double thank you. Also greatly appreciate that. Keep an eye out on all social media. As always, that's where we post any and all updates. I try to post on the community tab of the channel here and there, but it's just easier to post on like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, even though Twitter does absolutely nothing for me. But I still just keep up with it because I have a lot of friends on there. That's the only way I keep in touch with these people that are both far national and international. So it's there to be used. Peruse as you will. Other than that, thank everybody for watching, hanging out tonight, asking questions, being involved, engaged, whole 9 yards. Andrew, send that shit off. I'm going to shut her down.
Go to bed, everyone. See ya. We'll be on next time. Next English. You I can see. Next Wednesday, we will be live again, 8 o'clock. Every Wednesday, we are live at 8 o'clock. We will see you next week.